What's going on, guys? Orms Forum coming at you today with another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about the preview coming up, Week 4. The Seattle Seahawks coming to the Detroit Lions and coming into Ford Field, man, for another NFC matchup. The Seahawks coming in at 3-0, the Detroit Lions at 2-1 right now. A big game. Bottom line, guys, it's time to get the monkey off the Detroit Lions back. It's been 10 straight games that we have lost to the Seahawks. Enough is enough. We haven't beaten these guys since like 2012. 2012, I think last time we beat them, I think it was a close game too, like 13-10, 16-13 or something like that. If I can remember, I didn't write it down, but I kind of had to look into that, man, because you see all the memes out there, you see all the graphics, and like we haven't beat these guys in a long time. Pete Carroll had our number pretty much as his whole tenure as a Seattle Seahawk whenever we faced him, and we just couldn't get the job done. Now this is going to be a tough game. We can always look at who Seattle beat and who we beat. Man, Seattle beat the Broncos. They beat the Patriots. They beat the Dolphins. Okay, now those aren't world beater teams, especially the Dolphins now with no Tua, Tyreek Hill. Who's getting the ball, Jalen Waddle. Man, they're having a lot of quarterback issues. I think they're down to possibly their third or fourth quarterback because I think Skylar Thompson got hurt. Their backup. Then there was rumors they're going to put in Tim Boyle. There was rumors that they're going to play Tyler Huntley. So who really knows what's going on with Miami? But and then the Patriots, they don't have a very good offense. Good defense though. Broncos, pretty good defense. Offense, rookie quarterback. Not a great running game, but no excuses. They're 3-0. They're 3-0, man. We beat a decimated Rams team. We lost to I don't think a great Buccaneers team, but a good Buccaneers team. And I think we beat an Arizona Cardinals team that is good, but maybe a little bit overhyped. But we are 2-1, so they're 3-0. We're 2-1. Good matchup coming. It's time to beat these guys, man. And I haven't written down my prediction yet. I probably will at the end of this video. But let's talk about some injuries, and there's a ton. It's going to get long. It's going to get long-winded, guys, especially with the Seahawks injury report that came out. And they are decimated right now, man, especially in their defensive front. 3 defensive linemen, starting defensive linemen out with a possible, 3 or 4 actually, and a possible linebacker in Jerome Baker, who could be out too as well. But let's talk about that, guys, right now with the Seahawks first because they are the road team. So let's get to it right now. Linebacker Boy Mafe with a knee injury, did not practice. He is out. I've seen questionable with Boy Mafe too as well, though, but I think he's out. Defensive tackle rookie Byron Murphy III, hamstring, did not practice. He's out as well. Defensive end Leonard Williams with the ribs, did not practice. He is out as well. Linebacker Uchenna Nwosu, I don't know if I'm saying that right, knee injury, limited practice, but he was his game status is out. And then linebacker Jerome Baker, hamstring, limited practice, he's questionable, so he'll probably test that on Monday night. And then tight end Farrell Brown, foot, limited practice, no injury designation. Tight end Noah Fant, toe, limited practice, no injury designation. Linebacker Tyrell Dodson, shoulder, full practice, no injury designation. Nose tackle Jonathan Hankins, calf, full practice, no injury designation. Running back Kenneth Walker III, really good running back, oblique, full practice, no injury designation. Wide receiver Jake Bobo, knee, full practice, no injury designation. Guard Anthony Bradford, knee, full practice, no injury designation. Linebacker Derek Hall, hip, full practice, no injury designation. Wide receiver Tyler Lockett with a thigh, full practice, no injury designation. Running back Kenny McIntosh, hand, full practice, no injury designation. Wide receiver DK Metcalf, hand, full practice, no injury designation. Tight end Brady Russell, shoulder, full practice, no injury designation. Guard Laken Tomlinson, another starter, ankle, full practice, no injury designation. Safety Kayvon Wallace, shoulder, full practice, no injury designation. That's like reading War and Peace right there. That's long. That's way too long. A lot of injuries. They got a lot of stuff going on. Their defensive front is in shambles. It's totally in shambles, guys. Got to take advantage of that. But they got a lot of nicked up, banged up guys early in week 4. We got some too, though, guys. Detroit Lions, let's get to them right now. First off the bat, safety. Ifeatu Melifonwu placed on the IR today with that ankle and that Achilles, whatever he has. Dan Campbell kind of coming out saying that they kind of misjudged that injury. They thought he was going to come back a little bit earlier than they thought. He had a little bit of a setback here and there. So Dan Campbell being Dan Campbell saying that they didn't really judge that injury too good, so they ended up putting him on the IR. Not gonna get too upset about it, but he should have been on the IR right away. Had him on the 4 to 6, and maybe had him come back afterwards. But he did have a setback apparently, but he's going to be missing the next 4 games. So this game and then a few more after that. So we won't see him till week 9, whatever it is. Week 9, week 8, week 9. Yeah, because we got a bye coming up. Now let's get down to the injury. Center Frank Ragnow with that partially torn pec, no practice. He is out for this football game. Cornerback rookie Enos Rakestraw Jr. hamstring. He was a full practice on Saturday. He's questionable. Defensive back Brian Branch concussed, full practice, no injury designation. Good to have him back. Long snapper Hogan Hatton, shoulder, full practice, no injury designation. Tight end Sam Laporta, ankle, full practice, no injury designation. Defensive tackle Lee McNeil, shoulder, full practice, no injury designation. Defensive tackle Levi Ruzarique with the knee injury, full practice, no injury designation. And then offensive tackle Dan Skipper, the big fella, with a rib injury, full practice, no injury designation. Guys like Anzalone back as well too. So we got guys coming back. Obviously some guys are out. Don't really know about the inactives just yet because just don't know about it. But yeah, we got some guys out. Some guys Ragnow is a big loss. We'll talk about him coming up in a little bit on who's going to be his replacement. Now let's talk about the rosters really fast. Seahawks offense. I like to go through the rosters. You guys know that. Quarterback Geno Smith, Sam Howell backing him up. Running back Kenneth Walker III. Running back Zach Charbonnet. One of the best running back duos in the NFL. We talk about our David Montgomery and our Jahmyr Gibbs over here. Over there, they have a beautiful, nice little running back duo, especially when they're both healthy at the same time. Like I know Walker went out for a game or two. Zach Charbonnet stepped in, and he's a dog. Ex-Michigan Wolverine, played at UCLA, I believe. As a Bruin. They drafted him in the second, third round. I forget when they actually picked him up, but I always thought it was a good draft pick by them. And it's a good protection thing right there with Walker protecting Charbonnet, Charbonnet protecting Walker. Just two good running backs right there. So when they're both healthy, it's a problem. Now they're wide receivers. I love their wide receivers. I think their wide receivers are one of the best in the NFL. DK Metcalf is an absolute stud. A giant of a human being, can run like the wind, and is just physical, and he's mean. He can be mean at times. And then their second guy, who I think is the second guy kind of taking over, it looks like, Jackson Smith and Jigba, the second-year guy. I believe it's second year. Young rookie wide receiver from last year, who I think is kind of taking over that number 2 spot in Seattle. And then Tyler Lockett, who's a really good wide receiver as well, can run well, good hands, and gets open pretty well. I like him. And then tight end Noah Fant. Left tackle Charles Cross, who's a pretty good left tackle. Left guard Laken Tomlinson, who used to be a Detroit Lion a long time ago. Center Connor Williams. Right guard Anthony Bradford. And then right tackle Stone Forsythe. So it's a good offense, guys. I think it's really explosive. It's powerful. They do a lot of good things well, man. Geno's having a decent year. They got good running backs, really good wide receivers, solid tight end. A decent O-line. I think Charles Cross is really turning into a pretty good left tackle for them. Tomlinson, I've always liked. So, yeah, they're pretty good there. Then defense, like I said, they are banged up big time, especially in the defensive front. Now, defensive end, it would normally be Leonard Williams, but it's going to be Mike Morris. This is kind of what I'm thinking. I'm not saying this is going to 100% happen, but these are the backup. Like Mike Morris is Leonard Williams' backup. Nose tackle, Jonathan Hankins. It would be Byron Murphy, the rookie, but it's not going to be him. He is out. Defensive tackle, Jaron Reed. Left outside linebacker, it looks like it's going to be Derek Hall. It normally would be Boy Mafe. Will linebacker, Jerome Baker. If he doesn't go, you might see a lot of rookie Tyrese Knight. Middle linebacker, Tyrell Dotson. Right outside linebacker, Draymond Jones. It's usually Enowoso Uchenna. I'm butchering that kid's name, I know it. And then linebacker, Trey Brown. Strong safety, Rayshawn Jenkins. Free safety, Julian Love. Cornerback, Tyreek. Woolen goes by Reek. And then nickel cornerback, Devin Witherspoon. And that's they have a fantastic secondary. They have, I think, one of the better secondaries in the NFL. They're very good, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too. But I really like Witherspoon, and he would have been our pick, I think last year if the Seattle didn't take Witherspoon right before us. It was right at 5 they took Witherspoon. Brad Holmes dropped all the way down, and then he acquired that extra pick and ended up taking Gibbs and Laporta. So not going to be mad at that, but I still think Witherspoon was the pick. So what is this team going to do on defense? They're going to call some guys up from the practice squad. Guys like maybe outside linebacker Tyrus Bowser, outside linebacker Tyreek Smith. You're going to call up defensive tackle Matt Grodel. To be continued, don't really know, but they're going to have to do a couple of moves. Now, Lions offense, you guys know, quarterback Jared Goff, running back Jahmyr Gibbs, running back David Montgomery, a fantastic, phenomenal 1-2 punch. Montgomery is running like a man possessed this year. Looks stronger than he has in any other year I've seen him. Wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown, doing his thing. Wide receiver J-Mo had a little bit of a down game last week, but first 2 weeks he was off the charts. He was excellent. Wide receiver Khalif Raymond, wide receiver Tim Patrick, and wide receivers Allen Robinson. I mentioned all 5 guys because especially Patrick and Robinson, because they have been added to the 53-man roster, and I think they're going to stay on there too, obviously. And then tight end Sam Laporta. Brock Wright, man, probably spelling him a little bit because I don't think Laporta is 100%, but he did have a full practice. Then left tackle Taylor Decker. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Left guard, is it going to be Coyote Awosika? Graham Glasgow is the normal guy there. Center, no Frank Rank now. Probably going to be Graham Glasgow. Could it be Michael Neese? I doubt it. He's got no experience, but he is Ragnow's primary backup. But I think they're going to move Glasgow to center. It's just that, the left guard kind of makes me a little bit, the center left guard combination kind of makes me a little bit nervous with the Glasgow and Awosika, though. It does just, I'm not going to front. I'm not going to lie about it. It makes me super nervous, man, because that's where we've given up most of our pressures this year. And then right guard, Kevin Zeitler. Right tackle, Penei Sewell. We got a pretty good O-line still. But it just, that left side kind of makes me a little bit nervous with that O-line. And then we're fairly healthy except for Ragnar. Everyone's kind of healthy. Everyone's got nicks and bruises, obviously, but we're pretty healthy going into this football game on offense. But then defense, obviously, missing Marcus Davenport, I think, is going to be humongous. It's going to be bigger than people think. Derek Barnes, a linebacker, being out, for 4 weeks, 4 to 6, whatever it is, on the IR is going to be huge as well. So defensive end, Josh Pascal. Are we going to see some James Houston? Are they going to call up Mitchell Agude? They're going to call up Isaac Ukwu. I think they would have already had to have done it by now. We'll see. I guess if there's some healthy scratches, I guess you can call someone up, I think. But my guess is that it's going to be James Houston and Pascal getting most of those reps. But I still can see maybe a practice squad or 2 player coming up. And then nose tackle DJ Reader. Defensive tackle Lee McNeil, who's a little bit banged up. He's playing. Defensive end Aiden Hutchinson, who's having a career year so far. Will linebacker Alex Anzalone back. Are we going to see some Jalen Reeves-Maben? Middle linebacker Jack Campbell. Going to see more of him, obviously. Ben Neiman, could we see him? Sam linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez, probably going to get the start. Could Trevor Nowaski come up? And Trevor Nowaski, Ben Neiman, could those guys be getting a lot of looks? Then cornerback Carlton Davis, who hasn't been great. Strong safety Brian Branch, who's been nothing short of excellent. Got a couple. I think he got a fine or 2 last week, man, for going low on Trey McBride, where it looked like both guys were going low. I thought if you're going to fine anybody, fine them both. But Branch got the fine, over $10K, something along those lines. I think he got fined for something else too. I could be wrong though, but he did get the $10K fine. Free safety, Kirby Joseph. Cornerback, rookie, Terrion Arnold. And then nickel cornerback, Amik Robertson. Maybe Ennis Rakestraw Jr. is back, the rookie out of Missouri. Looks like he could be back for this game. They'll probably be testing out that hammy on Monday night, but I'm pretty sure he was a full go or a limited practice. He was limited, I believe, for us. Full practice, but still questionable. So they'll be testing that out. And then, like I said, could we be calling up a Mitchell Agude or Isaac Ukwu for some type of other pass rush because Davenport is out. Now let's go to the rankings, guys. We'll go to the offense. We'll go Seattle and we'll do Seattle and Detroit. We'll do it side by side. Let's do the Seahawks first because they're their road team. Offense, yards per game, total 344 yards for this team, 8th in the NFL. Rushing, they're rushing for 97.3 yards a game, puts them at 22. Rush per rush, 3.9 yards a rush, that's tied for 14th. Passing, they're passing for 246.7 yards, that gives them 3rd in the NFL. QBR is 93.8, that puts them at 15th. Geno Smith has been sacked 8 times, that puts them tied for 7th in the NFL. Third down conversions, turning thirds into firsts, they're at 36.8%. That puts them at 14th, a little bit better than average. Possession, they're possessing the ball at 29 minutes and 58 seconds, put them at 18th. And they're scoring 24.3 points a game. That puts them at tied for 9th. Now let's go to the Lions. Yards per game, 399.7 yards per game. That puts us at 4th. We're rushing for 163 yards a game. That puts us at 4th in the NFL. Per rush, 4.8 yards, tied for 6th. We're passing for 236.7 yards, puts us at 7th. And then the QBR is 80. It's not that good. It's 23rd in the NFL. Goff needs to be better. Sacks, he's only been sacked 4 times. That's tied for 3rd in the NFL. Third down conversion rate is very high. It's very impressive, 45.2%. Conversion rate, 3rd into first downs, tied for 5th. We are possessing the ball at 33 minutes, 29 seconds. Puts us at 4th in the NFL, so we got the ball out there, making that defense tired. And we're only scoring 20.7 points a game. That puts us at 14th, a little bit better than average. That's got to be better too. So, this is a team that was scoring like 27, 28, 30 points last year. At this time, that needs to be better, especially the second half. We'll talk about that in a bit. But the defense, go to the defense. We do the Seahawks first. It's a very good defense, man. Yards a game total, 248.7. That puts them at number 2 in the NFL. They're only giving up 116.3 yards a game. That puts them at 14. So, a little bit, they can be run on a little bit. Per rush, 4.4, tied for 9th. Passing per game, it's excellent, 132.3 yards. That's number 1 in the NFL, guys. They have a great pass defense. QBR, so that's quarterbacks, that's QBRs against, 67, which is excellent. That puts them at number 2. They got 11 sacks on the season, tied for 5th. They're getting off the field at a pretty decent rate. Third down percentage against is 26.1%. That gives them 4th. Possession, 31 minutes, 49 seconds. That's 18th. So their defense is on the field a little bit longer than they probably want to, but it's still a good defense. And then they're only giving up 14.3 points a game. That Mike Macdonald defense is pretty good. You guys know who Mike Macdonald is? He's the guy that was the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens last year. I know it's a whole different team, whole different personnel, different schemes, but a lot of it's the same. It's all about players, right? It's all about players. It all depends on what you can run on certain schemes and stuff like that. But Mike Macdonald, he had our number last year. So, I'm not sure if he's, I know they asked Dan Campbell, they go, hey, like about this, of Mike Macdonald being the DC last year for the Ravens. Do you still have that? Do you still have that tape? And Dan Campbell said, we threw that tape a long time ago. And I remember after that football game, Aaron Glenn came out and said, we buried that tape. We buried that tape afterwards, and we're never going to go back to it again. Now, that's fine. That I have no issue with that, but I think that tape would have been, and I know they can get their hands back on that tape. That's not hard. That's not hard. If you're working in the NFL, you call Roger Goodell and you get your hands back on that game. if they really want to. Now, my guess is they had to go look at some of that tape back then. Dig it up, do whatever you had to do, because there's some things in there that you can probably use as a reference. Obviously, everything's going to be different. It's a whole different year. And like I said, different personnel, different players, all that stuff. So, but just to take a peek at it, I don't think it would be a bad idea. I don't think it would be a bad idea to see what they were doing in some certain situations. But like I said, different personnel, different things, different schemes, different situations. It could be a little bit different, but it's nothing wrong with taking a back look at that, even though it was embarrassing for it. Because the Baltimore Ravens embarrassed us. And Mike McDonald is one of the reasons why he got himself a head coaching job in the NFL. So they have a very, very good defense. So yards for the Lions, we're giving up 293.3 yards, puts us at 10th total. Rushing per game, teams are only rushing on a 76.7 yards, number 3 in the NFL, back to being a really top-notch run defense. Rush per 3.6, tied for 3rd. Passing 216.7 yards per average, puts us at 19th. And 216.7 yards is not that bad. QBR 83.3 puts us at 10, so top 10. So not all quarterbacks are having crazy success against us. I think Stafford was the only one who really had a lot of success, throwing for 2-3 touchdowns, whatever he did. Baker made a couple plays, and then Murray did nothing. Sacks, we have 8 on the season, tied for 8th. Aiden Hutchinson was 6.5 of those. It needs to be better. It needs to be better, and I just don't see how it is going to be right now with Pascal Houston. That it makes me a little bit worried. But I already talked about that before. Now our third down percentage, trying to get off the field on third downs, is at 25.8%. That is, we are excellent getting off the field on teams trying to convert thirds into firsts on us. So that ties for third, and that's no, not tied. We're straight up 3rd overall in the NFL. Possession, 28 minutes, 4 seconds. So we're on the field that long. That's 4th overall. That's good. We're getting off the field pretty fast. For a defense, that's impressive. And we're only giving up 17.7 points a game. It's been a complete turnaround, I think, in a few departments for this defense, and our defense has been really well. That puts us at number 9 in the NFL. Now let's talk about the game, guys. I pretty much talked about everything that we could talk about. This game is going to be this is another, I don't even want to say revenge game, because they've beaten us 10 times in a row. They could just it's time to win. It's time to beat these Seahawks. They have a very good offense. They use everybody. Geno Smith spreads the ball around to his tight end, to all his stud wide. He has 3 stud wide receivers in Metcalf and Jigba, and then Tyler Lockett. And then even Noah Fant gets used. They throw the ball to their running backs too, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. They have a decent O-line. It's pretty good. It's a good O-line. They can do a lot of things. They're going to score points, man. It's going to be a big test for our defense. We're going to have to be super loud in this game. I'm going to be there. I'll be wearing my Sewell. It's supposed to be the blackout. We're supposed to do like a blackout in the stadium with the LED lights. We're supposed to do all kinds of different things before the game. So this is going to be a fun game to go to. We got to really get loud against that Seattle Seahawks offense. And then now for our offense, they have a great defense. They have a fantastic defense. They do a lot of things well. They don't have a lot of yards against them. They don't give up a ton of touchdowns. You can run on them a little bit. They give up 116 yards a game, so you can run on them, and I think that's what the Lions are going to have to do. They're going to have to really run on them. They got guys that can run with everybody. They have, I think, one of the best secondaries, I think, in the NFL. I love Tariq Woolen. Devin Witherspoon is really good. Those are 2 great corners. Their other corner, Trey Brown, is good. Rayshawn Jenkins. Julian Love is a guy that's all over the field. Look out for that guy. He's another guy. But you should be able to run on these guys. Their whole front 4, like their whole front 7 is kind of decimated. Even with if Jerome Baker misses time, that's big for them. So he should be testing out that hammy. I believe it's a hammy that Jerome Baker has for the Seahawks. What is it there? Jerome Baker. Hamstring, limited practice, questionable. So they'll be testing that out. So we could be seeing some new faces in there, from their practice squad. But they have to take advantage of this, And Mike Macdonald knows this. He knows this. So he's gonna try to make up some schemes. He's gonna try to do maybe some exotics. Try to trick Jared Goff in this offense into thinking that they're running something else. Try to hide some disguises. That's what they're going to be doing. That's what they're going to be doing. Maybe hiding some stuff. So, but you should be able to run on these guys. It shouldn't even be an excuse. With these guys all healthy, they're giving up 116 yards on the ground, and we have a fantastic running game. Now, I'm not saying don't pass the football, because we have to pass the football in order to be successful as well. So the secondary is going to be really tough, though. The secondary is going to be really tough. Who's going to be on? Devin Witherspoon, Rick Woolen, who those guys are going to be on. They take chances. They take good chances. They take bad chances. They do everything. They do everything that they can, man, to stop the offense. And it's a very, very, very good secondary, man. And this is a big test for us too. This is a gigantic test. We haven't beat these guys in forever. They're 3-0 right now. They've beaten us the last 10 straight games. It's been disappointing. It's been super disappointing. 2012, man. We're going to have to win this game outright. I think we're going to have to play bully ball again to win this game on both sides of the football. You're going to have to really get to, I think, Geno Smith as a defense. They have really good running backs. We've faced a couple good running backs so far. I thought Kyren Williams is one of the better running backs in the NFL. And it wasn't too high on Tampa Bay running backs. I really did like James Conner going into that Arizona game. So, I think Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker Jr. I think they're a little bit different. I think they're a little bit different running backs than some guys we face. They do everything good. They both run hard. They can both catch the football. We're gonna have to bully them up, though. We're gonna have to hit them every chance we get. Stuff the run. I don't want to say make this team throw the ball, but that's what they're probably going to want to do. They want to make them a little bit one-dimensional. And hey, if we can just, I don't think we're going to stop their wide receiving core, and their throwing game just in particular. I don't think we're going to stop that. But you got to limit it. You got to limit it, man. And if you don't limit it, they're going to score a bunch of points on us. And but we've shown that we can hang with the big boys so far early. It's early. We're only in week 4. We're pretty much quarter of the season after this week. So it's gonna be a tough game, man. It's gonna be a tough game. I was kind of all over the place with this. I wasn't too sure who I was gonna pick, but I gotta go Lions. I'm gonna be at this football game. We gotta get off the schneid. I think this is gonna be. It's not gonna be a crazy high-scoring game. I'm going to say like 24-20, 24-21 Detroit Lions. And that's all I'm doing is right now, guys. So 20-24 for the Lions in the victory. I feel pretty confident, that we obviously have some things going on that, that we need to get figured out, especially on the offensive side of the football. Can't be sputtering in the second half. We sputter in the second half, and we give that offense as much opportunity as we did against Arizona. We're going to lose this football game. We are, because I think Seattle is a much better football team than Arizona. I think the NFC West has improved dramatically. I really do. I think Seattle's back to where they are. San Fran's struggling a bit, but they'll be there. And LA, they're just gritty. They're tough. I think the Cardinals are a little bit better than 4 wins last year. I think they'll probably get close to doubling that, but they still got some problems too. But it's obviously better, and we got to knock those Seattle Seahawks down to 3-1. It's time to get the monkey off the back. So that's it, guys. 24-20, Detroit Lions. We're winning this football game. Thanks, guys. And we're gonna hit 30 minutes really fast. So thanks a lot, guys, for coming in and watching the video. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the what's it called, the subscribe button on the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell up top. Don't forget to like, comment, share this out. Go Lions. Lions victory, baby. Let's go. Boom.